there are two subjects that we want to talk about. And it's not about John Dramani Mahame's position, the presidential candidate of the NDC's position on LGBTQ, but it is now the calls by the NDC, led by communication officer, legal practitioner, lawyer, and Sami Jemfe is saying that we need to have a bipartisan or a committee that needs to investigate the AFCON budget scandal. So the question is, do we need that committee to do these investigations? Now, why do we have to? Because alongside, we have one of the leading sports journalists in Ghana, Sadiq Adams, was on the show 3 days ago, espousing why he thinks this scandal needs to be investigated as well. And he has gotten an approval alongside Songo. And you all know Songo to get an approval for a peace match to drum home why this investigation needs to be done, and then a complete overhaul of the processes that lead to these budgets at the Ghana Football Association. So make sure you join us this morning. Let me just acknowledge a couple of you on our stream before I look at our guests this morning. Adam Samid Junior Rollins, good morning to you. Bra Emis, good morning to you. Shaddai Adote, great guy. How are you? Alfredo Mona Lisa, Evans Eben Samba, Kwesi Mensah watching us from the United States of America. We're grateful that you've joined us this morning. Sherry Giovanni and Samuel, how are you? It was a birthday yesterday of one of our loyal viewers, John Bosco Akotia. Good morning to you, and I wish you all the best. Joe Michael, good morning to you as well. Make sure you share the stream and let us know what you think. This morning, we'll be joined by Rabi. Rabi is with the ruling New Patriotic Party, but we have Margot. So, Margaret, how are you?
I'm good, Roland.
Yeah, you look very calm.
Yeah, not too well.
No, not too well. Okay. Now, and then also, Nanaya Achempim Jantua is currently with the civil society that is looking into the subject of the energy sector. And I believe that when it comes to the emission tax, etc., they'll have a lot to say about it. There are some pros and cons, but the concern is whether consumers need to be taxed more. But we'll be talking about the issue as it is. And Nanaya Jantua was formerly also with the PURC, and then former General Secretary for the CPP. Good morning to you, Nanaya.
Good morning, my dear. How are you?
Your agency is called what?
COSECA.
COSECA.
Coalition of Stakeholders in Energy Contracts and Arrangements.
Oh, fantastic. And then we'll be having Sadiq Adams also join us just for about 5 minutes to look at, well, that peaceful man, what's it supposed to be doing? Now, do you want a house to rent or buy, or you want to sell your own house right here in Ghana? So Rent Ghana has so many options when it comes to houses to choose from. So they have houses for sale available all across Ghana's regions. And as you know, we have 16 regions. And in those regions, they say they come at very reasonable prices. And they're also assuring you that paperwork concerning these houses or all the properties you want to buy are all screened before the sales are done to you as a consumer. So therefore, you do not have to worry about being duped. They are giving you those assurance that there's no room for any scam when it comes to Rent Ghana. They have different types of homes or houses, ranging from smart houses to furnished apartments to even those that are uncompleted. So you don't have to pay anything expensive if you want to go for any of these valuable properties. So you can trust them. And as you trust them, call them on the following line: 055-261-8521, 053-04-22521, or 053-044-7312. And with Rent It, they say, find your next home with us. Now, we encourage you. We have the short code *439#. Let us know what you think. And Baturi Andrews, good morning. Ali Adams, good morning. Prince Ahmed. Prince is joining us from Kumasi. I know him quite well. Arafat Bodonye, and many of you. MK Erickson. Okay, now let's get the issues going. Now, Margot, why do we need a committee? The Black Stars, they've apologized, led by Dede Ayew, who was a captain at AFCON. The GFA has also issued a public apology. Now, what's the whole thing about now?
Thank you very much, Roland, and special good morning to you and your viewers and Anaya. Roland, the fact of the matter is that it's not just the apology. why should a player even apologize and the minister hasn't?
The seller post.
You understand?
Why not?
Roland, this country, Ghana, at this crucial moment, the country is bankrupted. And therefore, we expect people in authority, the government, to be very prudent in spending so as to commensurate with the pain that the citizens are going through. Everybody knows Black Stars is the heart of every Ghanaian citizen. When the Black Star is playing, everybody, it brings that love for the country, the unity and all that. We forget about even political colors and focus on the team as a country. So we are not saying do not spend on them. But Roland, there have been precedents. There have been other stages where the team had even gone higher than where we went. That is why some of the sports journalists are agitating or going on demonstration. So how are you able to spend $8.5 million on a team where did not even win any match? The best we did was to draw. We didn't get anywhere. So how did you spend this money? Because from the information gathered, the Ministry of Finance allocated some funds to the Ministry of Youth and Sports for this project.
Well, that's true.
So they need to account. At this stage, how much did we spend? How much did we do with this? How much did we, what were the bonuses, the allowances for the players? What are the expenses? Because, Roland, 8.5 million is too much. Dollars is too much. We didn't get to the final stage. We didn't get to the quarterfinals. So what did we do? Because I believe that so long as the team progresses, that is where you keep spending on them. Well, and the reason why our pensioners are picketing, people's hairs have been shaved. We cannot even take care of basic needs of our citizens. Then we can spend such an amount of money. We are not saying that Black Stars is not important, but we think it's too much. It's too much, and Parliament must take interest in this. Look into it carefully. At least whatever the monies were used for should be accounted for, should be explained to all citizens, because we are all concerned. We cannot sit aloof and watch. You see, when you hear some of the amounts, you wonder, does the country have money? Or certain individuals, or the money goes to certain places that it's important to the government? Because we were in this country where we could not even procure vaccines for our children. Nothing is going on. Today, they are introducing new taxes. Transport fares are going up. Then the ordinary person on the street will hear that we spent $8.5 billion on Black Stars. We did not win one match, Roland. We did not progress to anywhere. Namibia, how much did Namibia spend? 1.1 million. Other countries that even did well did not even go close to 2 million. Almighty Nigeria did not even do $3 million. So what is Ghana Black Stars? What did they do? What kind of boots did they wear? Or the lace were imported? What did they do? For us to spend $8.5 million. And as of now, the minister got down. He's not apologized to us. He's still at post. Down players are rather.
So you're saying what, the minister should be investigated or should be made to quit because of that?
You see, President Akufo-Addo, wherever there is corruption, he has interest there. So when we even call for the minister's head, it won't go anywhere. But if Parliament sits and probe this issue, Ghanaians will know where the money is going to. Because, Roland, and bear in mind, this is an election year. When the MPP says they will break the 8, there are three things they are looking at.
Which are
the monies they are stealing to influence electorates to vote for them. Second one is to rig with the EC. And the third one is to use violence. And that topic, we will come to it. You know, so it is the monies they are accumulating and going to use it to influence electorates. And this is democracy. People must have the opportunity, as the broadcast media is doing. You give us the opportunity to speak to Ghanaians based on our political colors. Then the viewers or the electorate will take a decision. You don't influence electorate with money. And why are you cheating the Ghanaian, impoverishing the Ghanaian, punishing the Ghanaian? Then at the end of the day, you give them peanuts. So all these monies we are looking for, Roland, this Cecilia, the press money that the court said you should give it to, it is all geared towards election 2024, December. They are accumulating all this money for these elections. But if you have done your job, use these monies to build roads. Today, people are calling on President Mahama. As soon as you get to UGMC, they are calling his name. When you get to the bank hospital, they are calling his name. When you go to Kumasi, Atonsu Market, KJT, they are. So, Nanado, by now, with the kind of revenue this country has received, Roland, in the last 7 years, taxes, revenues that this country has received is over 411.1 billion Ghana cedis.
Well, somebody will say that we have line items on the budget this year, and it's approved by Parliament.
See,
it's a bipartisan
I
Parliament.
expected this government to build an Akosomo Dam. I mean, earth-shattering projects where you will see that, yes, because the revenues that this government has accumulated, it's enormous. It's unprecedented. This government is so lucky, yet the citizens are suffering. Why is the political class of this government so rich yet the citizens? Why can't it be equal to the economic class? You understand? It's so bad, and we as a political party with the stance of our communication director or communication officer, Parliament must probe into this. We know that the monies did not go into the team. We know that the money is going to be used for something else. We must identify it immediately and stop it immediately. It is too much.
Okay. Now, if a committee is formed, what then does it do? Is it because we've gone to the IMF, we feel that we're a broke country, so to speak, and so we should do right by the citizens, or is just that we're just undertaking agitations for agitation's sake? It's a question somebody will ask.
Randy, good morning. Sorry, good morning to your viewers. Good morning to my sister Margot. Good morning to everybody. Also, good morning to Anekwi Avle, my comrade and my friend. You see, when as I was coming this morning, I did a cash-free budget.
You did a cash-free budget?
Yes, some estimate that
some extrapolations yourself.
Yes, within my mind that I don't know that, because when you do a budget, there are line items.
Sure.
And I need to also find out, is this money spent or is money budgeted?
Okay. So what has been drawn down from it for the meantime or the period where they reached was 5 million. Now there's even the agitation that we could have spent more because we did spend prior to the tournament. So that is also there.
So now what is budgeted for 8.5, spent 5 million.
So the question is, why should we be budgeting for it when you know that even for like countries and even the current state the economy is?
That is the cash-free. I did a cash-free budget. I mean, was anything that you do a budget?
Yes.
So I said that airfare, let's assume you don't want them to get tired, so you do Emirates business class. From
to Cote d'Ivoire.
To Cote d'Ivoire. I just pitched it at $2,000. So I looked at maybe 22 of the football team and maybe some officials. So I wrapped it up to 30.
Okay.
So that one is $60,000.
Yes.
Yes. Then if they rented a jet, granted they did, I put the jet $100,000.
Granted.
Then accommodation, I mean, you shouldn't do more than $200. You want the people to be comfortable.
Per head.
So I did it. I think the tournament is for a month.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did it 30 times 30. That's the $200,000. I rounded it 180,000. I rounded it up. So after I did everything, medication, I put it at $100,000. Injuries and all that. I mean, just a cash this thing. Even these figures are a bit high. And I put weights and means $50,000. Then I put feeding maybe $20,000, jersey, boots, everything. And I mean, it's rounding everything up. It came to $1 million.
That's like the Zambia,
yes,
Namibia line.
Yes.
Because so, Zambia was 2.1 million.
Yeah, so this I put $1 million. So I just say, okay, let's add 500,000 to it to give allowance. So I mean, at the utmost, $1.5 million. It should be reasonable. Do you get me? Because if you look at cost and some of these things are even high. Okay, when you go to Abidjan, you can find a hotel for $200,000 to $200 a night. You want them to be comfortable, so you do this, the Love Hotel and all those places. So this is what it is. So $8.5 million. The question is also who gave the money? The Ministry of Finance? Is it from the IGF of the GFA? Internal Generated Funds of the GFA? So where? Who and where did they remove the money from?
Well, according to what the information we have and also available to Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, who leaked the initial requisition for the money, they took it from, that vault, contingency vault.
That's what I was coming to. That we are going to pay taxes today, emissions, and put it into that fund. Consolidated fund. Then at the end of the day, the money is going to be misused. Do you get me? Who approved the budget and what are you see, the first thing we should ask for, what are the line items? And when I talk about accountability, and people will tell me that they go to the budget hearing, appropriation stage, Parliament approves it. This 8.5 million, was it in our yearly budget? But we knew we were going to go to AFCON.
Yes.
Do you get me? You knew we were going to go to AFCON, so why didn't they put it out there for it to be approved? So who approved it? The minister. My problem with committees in this country right now, it doesn't get anywhere.
So even that advocacy you have no faith in?
No, the advocacy is good, but the action that has to go with the advocacy, how can you trust it? We have had so many, the committee on the league tip, what has happened to it? We had an ad hoc committee for the removal of Honorable Kenoforiata. What happened to it? Do you get me? So committees have been formed variously. There was a committee on our Yawaso West Wagon. What happened to the findings? So government decide to take what is okay for them. I believe that the day of reckoning is coming.
There's this gentleman, Fortune from Arinet Press. He says that Ghana has become a crime scene.
A crime scene.
A crime scene. Is it the perception out there?
Of course, that one is the perception out there. And you see, that is why you see the monetization of our politics. Because the people think that when the politicians get to the top, they are there to make themselves rich. So during the time that they can get their own, during the primaries, that is when they can get their own. Yeah. This is the perception out there. When you talk about politics, voting and everything, they think that the politicians are thieves, and it's sad. Because we are all in it, we are all politicians, and it's very sad that that is what it is. That is the tag that has been put on politicians. The tag that has been put on politicians is the fact that
even CAF takes some of the costs.
I hear
accommodation.
I'm doing. Okay. So
CAF budget for all these.
This is the cursory thing that I did, and what I got is about
CFA budgets for accommodation and transportation.
Okay, so
do you get me? So the point is that a committee has to be set. But who will go into that committee? Who will be on that committee? I believe that the people who are going to be on that committee shouldn't be people who are sympathetic to government. It should be very neutral people who don't have any sympathy to any political party, to investigate the matter thoroughly. And besides, I don't know what GFA is doing there. GFA should be collapsed.
We should cleanse the system.
Everybody in GFA should leave. And if if they do not agree, I believe that we should go and put soldiers there to close their offices.
Seriously?
They are not fit for purpose. What is his name? Whatever. It's okay. He is not fit for purpose. He cannot do the job. Because he himself is an agent. Yes, I've heard he has an agency that trains footballers and he uses them during tournaments.
Actually, they're all football administrators, owners of clubs.
So how can we get the best when you yourself you have an interest? So CAT is not fit for purpose.
Okay.
GFA is not fit for purpose. Roland, you didn't let me talk. You've cut me short. Or you give my time back to me.
I'll give your time back to you. Sadiq is on air, so...
Sadiq should not be here. Today is women's time.
Yeah, don't worry.
So you should look for somebody who is a woman to do it.
Yes, please. And Sadiq Adams, one of the leading sports journalists advocating for this, I am told has gotten some level of approval to either picket to undertake some protest of a sort. Sadiq, good morning to you.
You should find a woman sports person to do it on
Good morning, Roland.
Okay. So the question I'll then ask is, why did you onwardly, following our conversations and the conversations you've been having since your return from the AFCON, now taking the next step to demonstrate or picket, or in what form? And have you gotten the approval?
Well, good morning again, and thank you. I think I agree with the honorable woman in the studio, but there is Veronica Kome, an astute sports journalist, one of the astutes this country has ever produced, as part of this group advocating for reforms in Ghana football. So I agree. She will be around to lead some of these conversations in terms of the feminine angle. But also, like you said, we have gone to the Ghana Police Accra regional headquarters and done the necessary requirements. And we are waiting for the police to issue their statement today. But we can say that everything looks favorable for the walk on the 14th of February. And we can actually confirm that we have put in place all the necessary steps for this protest to happen. We have gotten so many well-meaning Ghanaians, including yourself, also admitting to some of the reforms that needs to happen in Ghana football and your readiness to join. So it's something that we have planned, not because of the AFCON, but we are all aware of the palpable decline of Ghana football in all facets. Everything about Ghana football generally is down, and reason why we think that we require, beyond the rants and write-ups, to have a peaceful walk, just to draw the attention of well-meaning Ghanaians, including people in authority, that this is the passion of the nation, as we all refer.
Right.
And if the passion of the nation is dying, we have to sit up.
Okay. I know quickly you have to go on onwardly to do work, but Nanaya here has been raising some very contentious issues. I don't know whether it's also formed part of your advocacy. She is saying we need a cleansing. And I remember I screenshot your post. And of course, I got varied or mixed reactions about a cleansing. And I was asking after Anas, why do we need a cleansing? And she is even saying that we need the whole management, president, the vice, or if there's no, any other executive within the Ghana Football Association and all the other affiliate bodies to be taken away. And then we have a restructuring of the whole football administrative setup. Is that what we should be doing, or where we should be going?
Well, we are back here because we've all been thinking that it's just the Ghana Football Association. But per my experience, we are back here after Anas because it is simply not about Ghana football alone. It is about the Ministry for Youth and Sports. It is about the government agencies responsible for playing their supervisory roles on the GFA, who are all being checking their responsibilities, and some of them even in tacit connivance with the Ghana Football Association. So we need to go deeper. If we keep on cleansing the FA alone, without cleansing, excuse my words, the cockroaches who are deeper under the bed, we might come back. So the advocacy and reforms that we seek will require that from the National Sports Authority, which is an agency or body of government, and the Sports Ministry, who are supposed to supervise the activities of the GFA, we will still come back. So the reforms should start from government policies. Government should be able to enforce and instruct the GFAs to adopt reforms or cut funding. Because if you want to put $8.5 million under an IMF economy, into football of 3 weeks, then you should be ready to have word and have some sort of control, not control as an influence, but you should have a say. If the government is investing taxpayers' money into an adventure like this in times that we are all experiencing economic distress, the government should have a say or should play its role of effective supervision of the GFA, because if you cleanse the GFA entirely and bring new people who can be easily compromised or compromise the ministry, we will still come back here without any change, actually.
Well, thank you very much, Sadiq Adams. But if we take a look at Nanea, the budget in terms of what the line items are, there's something.
You have it, yeah.
Yes, there's something striking, and it says that. Thank you, Sadiq. Thank you, Sadiq. All right, I wish all the best for the day. It says there's bonuses and there's per diem and then there's honorarium. I mean, all of us have worked in setup.
So how much is
so the
honorarium for whom?
Is it the players or the team?
Or the other officials?
But per diem and honorarium, are they not the same?
You don't need honorarium.
So the honorarium,
unless you see, honorarium is when you do some form of work that you cannot be paid, but it's also outside the remit of your work.
But is it not still per diem?
No. When you travel, the per diem is for your feeding, for your hotel accommodation, and some allowance to move transport.
No, don't forget that CAF is taking care of some of this.
Yes. But I'm saying that I'm explaining honorarium and per diem. So honorarium is when, like, you are here, but you can do something outside what you do as a journalist, and they cannot pay you for doing that. So they give you a honorarium just to motivate you.
So it's that money is for who?
For I don't know who is on the team. Maybe
so it was just a block line item.
No, it cannot be.
And then air transport and per diem.
How much is air transport?
Because Roland, you see, workers are going on strike. But as of January 12th...
Let her conclude and then you come in.
So you see, the point is that honorarium is for work that I've done, but I have the expertise, but it is not it's not within my job function.
Okay.
So you give me
something.
So
you did it outside your job function,
yes,
or the tax for which?
Yeah, so you give me something that would motivate me to do it. Or I'm not within the system, and I come in to do something, you cannot pay me.
Like a third party?
Yeah, third party, then you give me honorarium. But you were saying that Anas's expose
well, my position...
But it cleansed only Nyantechi. It didn't cleanse the whole system. Ket Okreku, was he not part of the system? And he came back. So it didn't cleanse one person. Maybe one of the cockroaches under the bed was killed. But the rest of the cockroaches came
still
back.
Under the bed.
Yes.
They're even breeding more.
You get me? So they should take out everybody. This one is not about anything, no. So we restructure. I've heard that when we do that, what FIFA is going to ban us. Let FIFA ban us. Ghana is not for FIFA. Ghana is for us. So we decide to do what is okay for our country. And that is to collapse GFA, restructure our football, starting from the basics. Our league, is it the coach, the young ones, the juvenile football, for us to restructure. Because you see, even if we go for tournaments, we don't come home with anything. We just throw money away. So if FIFA bans us for 5 years, it is okay. We should be able to allow that to happen and collapse the GFA, put in an interim body. Because GFA cannot even get a coach. Every time we are sacking our coaches. And it is not the fault of only the coach. If the head is rotten, it will translate to the body. So, for instance, if the GFA tells the coach to fill somebody whom he thinks that is not good enough, what will he do? And they get into an argument. He will give in because his bosses have told him to do A, B, C, D. Why is it that when the coaches leave us, they go to other countries and the teams in those countries do well?
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Do you get me? This old man, what is his name?
Oh,
I think one of them.
There was Heavy Rona, who was a physical trainer.
Okay,
and then helped Cote d'Ivoire to win. First was Zambia.
Yes.
And then even went to do good with the Saudi Arabian team at the World Cup.
Yes.
Heavy Rona.
So today, this man is going to Chris something, Chris Hutton or whatever.
Yeah, Chris Hutton.
Why is he a British man?
He's he has Ghanaian roots. But
Okay.
British, Irish, I think.
Okay, whatever it is.
British.
Now he'll go and coach another team. Then he'll be okay. The team will be okay. So it means that fundamentally,
The problem is not the
our
coach.
structure is bad. And if you have a bad structure, what do? You have to pull down the structure and rebuild. Otherwise, it will collapse on your head. And now it has collapsed on our head.
That's quite steep and almost like a mosaic law.
Why is it? Why? Because every structure that is not good enough is pulled down.
When one of your arm is worrying you, you cut it off.
But it's not mosaic. It's in the New Testament.
The foundation is bad.
So if the foundation is bad, it should go
What can the
down.
righteous do?
We should break everything down. Let FIFA ban us for 5 years, because even when we go for tournaments, we don't bring any joy. We always bring pain, heartache. Because in my mind, I was wondering, how can Mozambique score Ghana within a matter of 2 minutes, 2 goals?
5 minutes.
Then if you are not cursed, then what is it? It is problematic. But Margot was saying something before I land. That one she said that the government is keeping money to pay voters to vote for them, influence peddling. My dear, 2024, there will be nothing like that. They will pay money, and at the end of the day, they'll go home. They are even going to get spoiled ballots. Do you know that? Because this man called, what is his name? Ampao.
Maurice
Ampao said that they are going to use dwarfs. They are going to use dwarfs for the elections, to change the elections. So that they are going to use dwarfs to change the elections. Today you have disrupted me. Okay, sorry, we'll talk about that later. They are going to use dwarfs. There's a video going around. Maybe he's not the one. But if the video is, I have it here.
Which video?
There's a video of, is it Maurice Ampa, lawyer?
They want to me.
No, he said they are going to use dwarfs to change
The
election results. Do you get me? But you see, dwarfs, if you are going to use dwarfs, then you are going to get spoiled ballots.
Why do you interface with dwarfs?
No, I'm saying that how can dwarfs vote? They will spoil the ballot.
No, maybe they will take some of the votes out.
No, how are they going to take it? Because they will touch the ballot paper and it will be spoiled. So at the end of the day, there are going to be a lot of spoiled ballots for His Excellency Bawumia. If he's going to use dwarfs, and me, I'm surprised that His Excellency Bawumia has not come out to come. It's not hilarious. It's a serious thing. You are joking. The person said he is going to use dwarfs to change it. It's hilarious. And you haven't come to condemn it that it's hilarious. And this is the same person who is going to churches and asking for prayer. And somebody is saying that at your election they are going to use dwarfs, and nobody has said no. Nobody has commented on it. You are saying it's hilarious. How can that be hilarious? This is not hilarious. Me, I'm serious about it. It is not hilarious. How can it be hilarious? You say you are going to use dwarfs to change it. Meanwhile, this is the same person going to churches to pray. Christian by night, Muslim by day. It is good. He's blending the two. But the point is that you go to mosque to pray, you go to church to pray, and somebody who supports you is saying that they are going to use dwarfs. We Christians, we don't like those things, so we don't do dwarfs. So if he says that he's coming to pray with us, then he should stop this dwarf thing. Because it is at variance with everything.
Our beliefs?
But why dwarfs? They will get spoiled ballots, you wait.
Now, we've been joined by Ms. Salifo and Rabi. Rabi, good morning.
Rabi, why are you? You are looking
Good
nice
morning.
this morning.
Yes, and it started so.
But your
bad.
colors are not fit for this platform.
Why? Why?
This is not a political.
Why are we not having political discourse?
No. This is not
Are
political.
we not having political discourse?
Rabi, call it off.
Am I not representing the
You are
great
representing
NPP?
who? But you are looking nice.
Since when has it become a crime showcasing your beautiful party colors?
Which beautiful party
Ghanaians have
colors?
experienced the colors. You don't need
Since
to
when
showcase
has it
don't worry.
become a crime? Roland, I'm really sorry.
Don't
Good morning, viewers.
Don't bring elephants here
I
to come
actually
and
thought they
and
would
kill
have been
us.
sympathizing
What
with
were you-
me on what happened.
what
But they are
happened? What
rather
happened?
attacking me for
What
wearing my
happened?
beautiful.
What happened?
I had an accident.
Which
on the
where?
way.
Somebody
But
hit
the
you.
motor rider just came to
Cross
do
you.
whatever. Yes.
And you hit him.
I didn't hit him. I applied brakes, but he went to fall in the grass. And then
But is he
it's
safe?
quite. Yeah,
You
he's
take
very
him to the
safe.
hospital.
All right.
I didn't follow up, but I got somebody.
We thank God or Allah for
So
making
you
it
wouldn't
possible.
be. You should be patting me. Like I
Right.
mean,
Right, but Rabbi, the criticism is
8.5
that
million, we are patting
the
you.
criticism is that we should have had foresight. Government should know our place. So when a budget is brought before the finance minister, should know our current state of our finance, and so take a decision that is prudent for the public good.
yes.
In relation to the AFCON.
I want to say good morning to all of us, and then for me, when you look at the trigger point of this discussion, it has to do with a Facebook post. Though people have said a lot of things about the budget, the whole tournament, and all that, but I'm just referring or speaking with reference to a Facebook post, because looking at the topic you presented, it says the NDC is calling for bipartisan probe into the whole happening. And when I followed through, I realized that Sami Jemfi, the director, or how do they address it? Are they directors or they are officers?
He's a communication
He's a
officer.
national communication officer who came to give his analysis. I read his lengthy post, but it's just so unfortunate that it had to take NDC more than God knows how many years to just come back to this same reality that, look, whatever discourse we are having as a nation, whatever discourse that we are having as political parties, should always come, if not just constructively, but also on issues. Now they have seen the truth. That's even why they have quickly run back to IPAC. You know, they walked out of IPAC. And for me, I think there is no any great approach. He is calling for bipartisan. These are the same people. I'm just trying.
8.5 million.
Wait, he is saying not the amount, but what he's asking for, Nanaya. He is saying, you probably haven't seen what he wrote, but he is saying we should come on a bipartisan approach to look into the whole matter.
But that's
I'm
through
just
Parliament.
saying,
The bipartisan approach.
of course, yes, but I'm just saying that since when have they seen the need to come on the same page with us, to have discussions, to agree on common things and move the country? So what I am saying is that, yes, this is what I have expected for long and all that. For me, I think all that is happening in GFA has to do with reforms, great reforms in this country.
that are needed.
Look, when you look at what he wrote, he came to shield the happenings, trying to make NPP look bad and not say what should be the way forward. Now you say,
What should be the way
when
forward?
we talk about, let me come, Roland, when we talk about Brazil 2014, when we were told $3 million is just a peanut, when we were told to shut up because a chartered flight was taking money to go and give to footballers as appearance fee, the same people are coming back to say, and then MPP budgeted this, MPP. Yes, of course. I think they shouldn't be waste. And that is what my party believes, that wastefulness is what we shouldn't be encouraging any government appointee to be doing. The way forward, as you have just asked, is simple as some call it overhauling. I wouldn't say overhauling. Just upon arrival, I learned the coach was taken out.
Chris Hutton.
I think it should go beyond just even changing the team. It should also affect the selection process. How do we get people to serve in the GFA? Who is indeed qualified to be in the GFA? What should be the indicators of becoming a member of the committee, so that at the end of the day, whoever is representing the state to talk on behalf of we Ghanaians, because it's our tax that is being used to take care of them,
That's true.
should be able to say issues that are result-driven, that are productivity-driven, and that shouldn't lead us to what we just witnessed. It was so embarrassing, so sad. Entering, I heard Nana Ekuya mentioning a curse and all that,
Nanaya.
and Nanaya saying curse and all that. For me, I wouldn't say it's a curse or it's something, but rather looking at the technicality from who becomes a member, from how even the players, some are even alleging that some of the players do
it in context.
Some of them
it was in relation
I understand,
to the goal.
I understand.
Yes,
Some of
so
them,
say it
some
properly.
of them, I'm just quoting you, probably I'm not quoting you verbally,
You are not
but I'm
quoting
just
me
paraphrasing
properly.
what
Yeah.
you
You
are.
are not
just
quoting
relating
me
to
It's
what
just
you
an attempt to paraphrase
All
what
right.
you
I think
said,
you're on the same page.
We are on the same page. I'm
We
not
are not.
disagreeing with you. I am just saying that, look, should you even want to say in context, as you want me to put it, that is a case and all that,
Okay.
I think we should look at the technicality of it. Who is qualified? Who should be qualified? Even selection of who comes on the pitch. Football, people who understand football, not only the analysts, will tell you they weren't very satisfied with the choice of players on the pitch. And the last game we also was what's his name? Kudus not being productively used on the pitch. You could see that he's lying behind because somebody is probably not feeding him with the balls and all that. So what I am saying is that, yes, we should look at how well the GFA can set up when we are done with choosing the right people. Even if it means saying, oh, everybody step aside. Let's come to look at who is qualified. Even if there are individuals in the current team who can justify their inclusion, that one I am not against it. We should look at that. I also look at policy angle as well. We should look at what policies could be useful in terms of changing the face of our football in Ghana. That is to say, back to selection of coaches, selection of even the members of the GFA, even selection of players. If we review the policies and realize that, look, this is not helping us. And lastly, I want to say we should also minimize, be it NDC and PP, we should minimize politicization of activities of the GFA. Because
there are no NDC people in the GFA, they're all football people.
I am just saying we should. People would argue, and we all know, not even our regime or their regime, we all know that in most cases, people on selfish reasons would want to deep down their supreme hands to manipulate. And this kind of manipulation, because I see instances where people will express that, look, this person should have been used for this game, but for A or B reason. Finally, also, there is this information I picked from a colleague whom I had a conversation with on this same tournament, and he was telling me, look, Rabbi, do you know that if we had chosen to use the fresh blood, the new faces in
these
the
are new
team,
faces, so they're not.
some, I don't want to actually mention names because
They are very
I'm
young
not really
people.
versed, but they are young, but there are some other people in the team that some people think, or some Ghanaians think, that
Should
look,
not be there.
if they were just the local players we are using, not those in the international front. He's playing the ball on the pitch and thinking of his most immediate next game. He doesn't want to wound himself. He wants to do it so that he's able to go back to his mother team to go and play. So if we use the local champions, and that has to do with their decisions within the GFA, to see, look, this person is local.
Improve
the
our
person
league.
is new.
Okay.
Let's
Local
use
leagues.
the local leagues, yes. Let's use them to be able to showcase, because look, if the person is new, the person wants to prove and justify their inclusion. So they will play with passion,
Okay.
they will play with all their heart, and we wouldn't witness what we just witnessed in recent
Now,
times.
as we conclude on this subject, let's start with our next one, which is about the marking of the Ayawaso West Wagon, killing of 8, etc. And if you speak to what the security experts are saying and what transpired in the last election and the way the security have handled the elections even post-2020, there seems to be some level of dissatisfaction that the action points based on the reports of the Ayawaso West Wagon Committee, of course, which culminated in us having an act for, anti-vigilante groups, etc., don't seem to manifest when it comes to election. And there are fears that we could see some level of insecurity in the 2024 general election. What do you make of it, Margaret?
Roland,
Thank you,
just
Roland.
a second.
Yes, please.
Please, looking at this thing that you have put there.
But it's not on air. The thing is, yeah.
not-
Okay.
It,
You mean the items?
Yes, but request for funds should not be done by the finance minister. He is the approving authority.
Yeah, but this one is contingency.
It does not matter.
It is wrong.
It is wrong because it should come from the GFA to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, it will go to the Finance Ministry. Yeah. Then the Finance Ministry would vet it from there, go to the audit or department of the Finance Ministry before approval is given. But this one is being done by the approving authority. And that is the finance. It is wrong.
So and rather, it should have been on a cover letter.
Yes, this is a process.
So rather, we needed a cover letter.
No,
on the requisition.
Yes, there's a requisition from the ministry, the GFA
Sports Ministry
to the Sports Ministry.
No. What are you saying? Are you saying the Finance Ministry is requesting?
Yeah, that is. Look at it. This is it, and he has copied all these people.
Well, so that's why Sami Jemfi and the NDC are saying that we need a committee.
You have to raise a red flag. Well, why should it come from him?
Get to
Please get to Ayawa.
Let me correct
how did he get the items?
Rabbi said about Brazil 2014. Roland, Brazil 2014 and the 3 million she spoke about. 2014 was a World Cup. This is AFCON.
Yeah, but we're talking about general expenditure.
No, please, Rabbi, please. Secondly, there was no private jet anywhere. The players, the Black Star players, they demanded the appearance fee of $100,000. Else they won't play. They refused to be trained for the Portugal match.
There were people who were there
to understand that the vice president, late Emisata, had to intervene against cabinet decision. We decided to give them bank transfers. Roland, the team, the Black Star players said that they want cash
because of the tax.
So one of the Ghana Air Force jets took the money. They're not private jets. I need to correct her. There was no hiring of private jets, and it is the demand by the players that they were not going to train. They didn't even train, and they were not going to play until they see physical cash. So that one, it is not the government that took the money there. It is the players, the team. And when we are talking about Team Roland today, because of the bad nature of education, we do not even do intercore again. It was those days that we do inter-schools that you identify players, you group them, and because of the patriotism in them, they play and they have their families and the country at the back of their mind. So today, we don't do intercore. Even capitation grants are not paid. The children don't even get food to eat. How can they even go to play? So these are some of the problems that we need to look at. Roland, I was so West Wagon and 2028, the matters of the 2020 election, the 8 people that died, and going into 2024. Roland, I have said, and I side with the security experts who are also raising concerns. In the history of this country, at least when we return to democracy from 1992, even Chairman Rawlings, who came from a military regime, did not kill a fly to become a president.
So it was a chartered flight to Brazil.
It was a chartered flight.
It is Ghana Air Force. Roland, you can check.
It was a chartered flight.
It's Ghana Air Force flight that took the money there.
Flight.
Okay, let's move on.
And that is World Cup.
That was when Ampofi came to say 3 million is just a peanut.
We did not say 3 million. Today, we see Minister for Finance requesting for money.
Roland,
it was a chartered flight.
That it happened.
It was.
Is it the fault of the government when the players were demanding the money?
And you condemn.
Absolutely.
Why are you doing the same thing?
I like your point of intervention.
Why are you doing the same thing?
Because we said we wanted to do things better.
We never chartered a flight.
Did you never chartered
Did we chart any flight? So we are talking
even as of the time we're talking about 3 million, there were no haircuts.
Wastefulness.
Roland, the 3 million she is even talking about for a World Cup. Roland, it is my turn. I don't know why they are interrupting.
It's wastefulness.
Because you have to give me my time.
Okay, so you are saying that because they did it, this one is even better.
That's why we haven't even done that. That's why we haven't
even
done
the chartered air flights she's talking about. There were no haircuts in the history of this country again. This is the first time we've had political delilas shaving the somethings of this country.
Political what?
Delilas. In the history of this country. This is the first time we are shaving people's hair in this country, turning men into women.
So you are saying that this sad decision should be taken because we're not in a good financial position.
Exactly, and it is rational.
But it's over. The thing is over. Look, even
it's rational. Just 12 January of this year, the Ministry of Finance sent how much? $5 million into Ministry of Youth and Sport account for what?
Selection procedure.
Roland, Ayawaso West Wago, 2020 elections and moving into 2024. When the Ayawaso West Wagon incident happened, we heard the MPP Deputy General Secretary, Obri Boahin, informing us that that is a dress rehearsal for 2020 elections. Roland, we saw the rehearsal in the 2020 elections.
Okay, let me stop you. Obviously, Free Ankara just sent me. They said there was no chartered flight, please. It was one of the jets managed by the Air Force, corrected by the minister at the time.
But why did you get this chartered flight?
I saw it in the Washington Post.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere, yes.
Because
even when I was doing my research last night, they kept popping up.
Those days, Baumia was in charge, and now Google has acclaimed him as a liar. So all these things, it was during their
this
time.
deliberate attempt to tag him as a liar is known now. It's a known fact. Even
the liar thing is on Google. President Muhammad does not work with Google to put Baumia's name there.
To say it's not true.
Please.
Our social media people,
Rabi.
they don't work with Google.
Let her talk and then
Roland, do I work with Larry Page to put Baumia's name on Google that he's the biggest liar in Ghana? Google is a reference point. Roland, Obri Boahin said what they did in Ayawaso West Wagon is a dress rehearsal for the 2020 elections. And we saw what they did in 2020 elections where they killed 8 innocent Ghanaians. Roland, we are moving into 2024 and just recently their primaries, MPP parliamentary primaries, we saw a whole grown-up minister, an old man with grey hair, telling the police that he's going to beat his contender mercilessly. He was informing the police, I'm going to cause murder. And the police was looking at him.
Yeah.
Roland, can you go to the police and tell them that I'm going to beat somebody and you come out of the police
and
station?
Just look at him like
they'll just look at you and try to even patronize him. So this is their.
All right. Okay, so we're doing a welcome event for Nanaya Brefo, and she's coming to join the vernacular or the Akan speaking